Hello, my mindful yogis. It's Mike. Today I'm here with a mini workshop for flying pigeon pose. So this is one of the arm balances that took me years to get into myself. It's something that is very challenging, and arm balances are a really fun way to get out of your comfort zone. So if this is something that you think you can't do, it's impossible, I'm not strong enough, I'm not flexible enough, all of those things might be true and they might not be. So stick with me for this next 10 or 15 minutes. We will go through some steps of how to get you towards the pose, the things you want to do to build strength to get there one day. And if you're already playing with it and kind of already comfortable in arm balances, I will give you tips and tricks to get you there more powerfully and more stably, okay? So the first thing to set up is your legs. Like in a half lotus pose. So I'm about to stand up and you'll probably lose the top half of my body here, but that's okay. I'm down lower for most of this. I just want to show you the setup of the legs to start. So when you're coming up, like I said, this would happen in tree pose. So the options to set up your legs in tree that you might know might be like a kickstand, inner calf, inner thigh would be an option, right? Another option is half lotus. So that is taking the ankle on top, like into the crease of the opposite hip, okay? So some people can put their ankle there and hold it there without their hand being in place. I am not one of those people. So when I let go of this, you'll see it's going to slide down my thigh a little bit. This is okay. If this is where your foot lands, you can still work in this arm balance. You don't have to be able to get into a full half lotus and have your foot like hooked way up into your hip crease, okay? So that's the first step. What you want to do, whenever you're setting up this pose, like you're going to be going into a tree pose, you would set up your half lotus. You're going to reach your arms up to the ceiling, okay? So I'll demo all of that quickly here. And then setting up the leg, right? Reaching arms up, just finding some space in the body. And then what you're going to do is come down into a fold. So this would be your first step. If you want to move into flying pigeon one day, just getting your foot on top of your thigh and then getting your palms down to the floor is step one, okay? So from here, working with your ankle on your thigh, right? Or ankle in your hip crease, palms on the mat, you'll start to take a bend in the left leg. So what you're going to do as you bend this left leg is you'll probably, hopefully, feel your right shin and right ankle come onto the backs of your triceps, okay? So this is, again, the first setup. So as you're coming into this pose, just building strength in this movement of getting the foot across the back of the left tricep, knee on the back of the right tricep, bending the elbows a little bit, okay? So starting to take that little bend in the elbows and really feeling this out. You can start to wiggle your back foot a bit further back and really getting into this posture here, just feeling this tuck, feeling this connection of the leg across the backs of the triceps. This is huge in getting into flying pigeon one day, okay? So from here, I'll demo this and then we'll break it down a bit. So from here, I'm gonna wiggle that back foot a little further back and start to tip my weight forward. So next step to get into an actual arm balance, you're hooking this foot here, the right foot. It's not just touching the back of my tricep, it's like grabbing it, okay, like a monkey hand. You wanna really wrap that around. And from there, you can start to tip forward, okay? So as you tip forward, start to make the shelf kind of like going into crow, getting that little shelf on the back of your arms, and then maybe the foot comes off the ground, okay? And it's little tiny steps in the right direction. So tilting forward, letting the foot come up and then come back down. And just starting to feel that kind of weightlessness that happens in an arm balance, right? Where your body actually balances on the arms. Arm balance, right? So getting up off the ground and maybe holding would be the next step here. So foot off the ground for a little bit and then back down. Foot off the ground and then back down. Okay, and then full expression here, you're gonna come up and this back leg starts to extend straight, okay? So now all of the balancing is happening with that right leg on the backs of the triceps. Okay. Whoa. Hard to talk through that. So, it can seem impossible. I've been there. I've been there with you if that's where you are right now. Definitely, if you've never done it before, getting up off the ground into full expression might be challenging, okay? Impossible I will not hear, but challenging for sure. And really what you want to do is get clear on what story's popping up. If you're a yogi that's trying to add advanced postures in, you need to get messy sometimes, right? So I know for me, none of these advanced postures that I am now able to do in my yoga practice came to me just like that, right? They all required a bit of patience, a bit of practice. It's a yoga practice, right? So you keep coming back to your mat and trying again and again. And really, for me, looking for those little steps that build strength to get me there in the future, okay? So what you want to do if you're trying this for the first time is just work on the leg placement, okay? So that's step one. I'll do the other side now. So again, setting up leg placement, getting the ankle up on top of the thigh, okay? You can hold it there if you need to. If you let it go and it slides down, just really pressing. So I'm not just setting it there. My ankle and my thigh are pressing into each other. So that connection, okay? And then from here, with that connection, just starting to come down, hands on the ground, okay? From here, palms, trying to get the palms flat. You might need to bend your knee a little bit for that. And then as you bend that right knee, now trying to find left knee on the back of the right tricep. Sorry, left knee on the back of the left tricep. Right foot on the back of the right tricep. And then from here, again, it's starting to tip forward. Starting to find that lightness on the back foot. Maybe step it back a little bit. Maybe lift it for a second, right? Getting that lightness. You might even just do this 10 times. Like I feel this in my arms, in my core. This is work. Just even like the little kind of hops going. Next step is kind of shifting forward, letting that weight land in the hands, letting that back foot get lighter, and breathing, of course. And if you are playing with full expression, those toes, the toes hooked on the back of the tricep is like money. That is where the support is coming. From there, you push foot to arm, you lengthen that back leg and breathe, breathe, breathe. Look forward, belly strong. Inhale, exhale, take one more breath, and then release. Maybe you fall into a pile, that's okay. So this is a pose that if you're trying it at home without a teacher there, without someone to help you, guide you through it, it can get really frustrating, okay? Again, I've been there. This is not something that just came easily to me. It's been work to get me into this pose. So as you're moving through different steps, different variations of it, playing with the little hops, maybe you fall out of it, maybe you get really tired, maybe you slip out, all of that's okay, right? And really starting to get clear that when you're adding in advanced postures, when you're trying to like upgrade your yoga poses, you want to be patient with yourself and compassionate, right? And acknowledge that millisecond that your toes come off the ground, instead of beating yourself up that it was only for a millisecond, right? So we're gonna go through, I'm gonna demo it one more time on each side. I'll go through the few points that are important. And that was really it. I just wanted to touch on this pose. Didn't want to skip over one of the pigeons this week when I did the pigeon practice earlier. So if you have any comments, let me know. Is there another pose you want to see? Do you have any questions about this pose that I didn't touch on? Comment in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll go through each side one more time for you now. So setting up legs, half locust, lotus, not locust, half lotus, coming here, okay? Bringing the hands down to the floor, hooking the foot on the back of the tricep. So foot hooked. This is like number one important. If you're trying to get into this arm balance, you have to have your foot connected to the back of your tricep, okay? And like really connected, glued, like super glued on there. Press foot and arm into each other. Start to shift the weight forward. Start to get light on that back foot. Maybe lift up. Maybe extend the leg. Core strong. Gaze forward. Take a breath in and release it. Come up. Shake out your legs. Set up the other side. Foot in half locust. Lotus. I don't know why I'm saying locust. Half lotus. Arms to the floor. I just did the same side again. Switch over. Yeah, so sole of the foot facing out. Toes gripping the back of the tricep like a hand. Grab onto it. And then starting to shift forward. Starting to get light. Starting to expand. Breath strong. Gaze steady and focus. Take a breath and release. Come down. I hope that was helpful to somebody out there. Please let me know if that helped. If you're challenged in this pose and there's something else you need to know, subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it with any yogis out there that you think might benefit from seeing this and getting into their flying pigeon. Have an awesome rest of your day. That one put me out of breath. It's work, right? Have fun doing the work. Stay connected to your body, stay connected to your yoga mat, and keep nourishing yourself. I will see you really soon.